Hi YouTube, how's it going? So it's been a while since I've been posting, mostly because I was working and now I'm not working anymore. So I was still at HEB, but a different department. It was for bakery. And I was there for like a month and a half, almost 2 months, kinda 2 months, but not exactly. So almost. It was okay at first, but then like it wasn't for me. The reason why, well, mainly because I didn't want to have problems with customers, like take their orders for like cakes, and then if I get it wrong, and then they're gonna complain to me, and that's one of the things why I left. Well, I got fired, but I was gonna put my 2 week notice. Anyways, yeah. That's one of the reasons because I didn't want to deal with any customers like that. Second of all, is because um so I would close, I'll be taking close shifts, so it would be from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. and I would close by myself, so it would be kind of hard. There would be moments where it would be hard for me to close because it was just by myself, because I will have to put the racks back, and then some racks that had like food, that had items on them, I would have to put them on the floor, and then I had to clean the tables, then I had to broom, and then I would just have to wash, well, not wash, but just leave any dirty dishes somewhere, to rinse off. And I would have to throw that out the trash. And then at the same time, I would have to still, take customers' orders and this and that. It's just by yourself alone. It's just it gets to you, it becomes a burden. And but I mean, that's a job, that's a work, it's not gonna be easy, right? But I just kind of got tired of it, and I'm like, you know what, this is not for me. I'm just gonna leave. So, but yeah, yeah. So I left. It was, the coworkers they were chill with me. I can't complain about the coworkers. I'm thankful for them, because they guided me at first when I first showed up. They showed me the ropes. They showed me, all the things. They were patient with me. And yeah, they were cool. I don't want to say their names. I want to keep them private. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I left, because I felt like it wasn't for me. Bakery wasn't for me. I'm thankful for the opportunity, but it wasn't for me. One of the other reasons is because, well, I just didn't want to have problems with, a coworker or something like that. I felt like if I stayed and worked with that coworker, something would have happened between us. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have any problems, not just with the coworker, but with the store in general. I don't want to have any problems. So that's why I decided to leave, because it's just a group, it's not like, new people every day, or like, it's the same group that you work with anytime you have a shift, for that day, and you work with them. And I was like, if I stay here, I'm gonna cause problems, so I might as well leave. And yeah, so I left so I wouldn't have any problems. The good thing is they told me is that, no, I'm not gonna say that, but it's about like, if I want to return, I can return, because usually when they fire you, you have to wait a whole year to come back if you want to work. But honestly, I don't think I want to work at HEB anymore. I'm just kind of tired of it. No offense, I'm grateful for HEB. HEB is a cool store. It's a cool place to work. But I just got tired of it. I just want something else, a new area to work at, a new job experience. But I guess one of the other things is that I wanted, not mainly, but I guess it's kinda a reason why I left. So there was this girl that I liked, and I told her that if she wanted to hang out, but she said no. And I wanted to tell her that I like her, but I didn't tell her that I like her. I just told her if she want to hang out. But that's not really the reason why I left. Like, even then, like, I thought before even asking her to hang out, I thought before that I wanted to leave. But even then, like with that girl that I asked her to hang out, she was like, she wasn't interested in me, and I felt like things were gonna be awkward between us. So I didn't want to have any problems. I could be wrong, but I just didn't want any problems. I didn't want to have any problems with her. But the other girl that I worked with, there was another girl that I would work with. She also, well, yeah, all of them. Yeah. But yeah, there's this other girl that has been there longer, and she was cool, and I liked her at first, but then I started to get to know her more. I'm like, I don't know. Anywho, I just felt like if I stay there, I guess because of the way both of us are, we were gonna have problems eventually. Cause like we do different things differently, work related. So I feel like we would have had problems. Like most of the time, we were chill with each other. We tried to be cool and all. But I feel like if I stayed there longer at that bakery, at that HEB, problems would have started. Or there would have been problems that would have been started. And well, because she was there longer, she knows more about that story than I do, and she's been there longer. But yeah, I mean, so that's why I left. That way I wouldn't have any problems, and that way I wouldn't have affected anyone at that job in a bad way, I guess. So I'm like, I don't want to cause any problems or affect anyone because of certain things I do. So let me just leave. And I think it was a pretty good decision. I think it was, a good decision that I left, because my gut was also, besides, just that, my gut was telling me like, you gotta leave, like, you gotta leave, man. Something was fishy. And there was another manager, and he wasn't there for too long either. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was taller than me, and he was like, there's something not right about this store. And I was with him too. Like I was like, I'm on him with that. Like there was just something not right about that store. So that's why I had to leave. And he also left. He put his 2 weeks notice and just waited until he left. So there was just, and I wasn't the only one that felt that way about that story, because he even said that there's something not right about this story. And I was, I don't know what it was, or I don't know what it is, but I'm glad that I left, and I'm glad that I got fired, because most of the times when I feel that feeling, that gut feeling, most of the time it's right, and it's just something like constantly telling me like, hey, like kind of like an alarm, like kind of like letting me know like, hey, So I think it's a good thing that I left, and I'm happy for the other tall guy that he left to. He put it, he finished his 2 weeks notice, so you're going to another HEB store. But I'm glad that he also left, because both of us were like, we were like uncertain about that store. I'm not gonna say which store, or should I'm not gonna say. I want to have problems with that store. Anywho, yeah, so it was more like an update that I was working and why I wasn't been posting lately. And yeah, because I was working and I couldn't, I was just tired. I'll get home late. I'll get home like at 10 or 11. And yeah, that's why, I haven't had time to post. But now I'm posting because I'm not working. And yeah, that's just my update. I'll talk on the next video about looking for a job. And yeah, I'll see you guys or YouTube on the next one. Peace out.